Hi, this is John Cleesaddle again. I got such an overwhelming response yesterday when I put that video on YouTube that enabled people to experience what trance really felt like. But the majority of them asked for a little more example of some of the things that they can experience while in trance, in order to make sure that what they were experiencing really was trance. There was actually a question of what makes you think they weren't in a waking state. So I figured, what the heck, if people want to know, I'll tell them. So what we're going to do is I'm going to enable another trance state for you, pretty much in the same manner as we did with the other video. In this case, I'm going to ask you to take your non-dominant arm, which is, take your the hand you write with and use the other arm. And I'm going to ask you to just, kind of relax it, let it limp. Because in a few minutes, I'm going to ask you to give me control of that arm. It's going to be a really neat effect, and I'll only keep control of it for a few minutes. So if we're ready to begin, first I need to tell you that there's nothing that you can do to help me hypnotize you, other than to follow my instructions and try and play scientist as we do this. I want you to monitor your arm, how your arm feels as we're going through this. And you'll find that it's very easy to realize the trance effect that we're going for. So in a moment, I'm going to say the name of a color. I won't tell you what color I'm going to say, but when I say this color, you're going to notice that your non-dominant arm is going to become very relaxed. It's going to feel very good. And I'm going to say, okay, if that's okay with you, that's what we're going to do. So I want you to prepare yourself. I'm going to ask you, are you ready? Because here we go. Orange. Notice how that arm just relaxes. Go ahead and pay attention to it. Now in a moment I'm going to say another color, and it's going to make that relaxation that your arm is experiencing even more profound. It's going to make it even stronger, and it's going to feel even better. And once again, I'm going to assume that that's okay with you. And if you're ready, here we go. Green. That's right. Notice the arm, notice how it's feeling, notice how it's becoming even more relaxed. And now, for those who are experiencing that, we're ready to move on to the next step, which is, in a moment I'll say one more color. When I say this color, you're going to notice that your arm is going to become so relaxed and so perfectly still and limp that it's not going to work anymore. Control of it will transfer over to me. And this is going to be one of the neatest effects that you've ever experienced. Now this is only going to last for about 15 seconds. That's all. But I really think you're going to enjoy this. So when I say this next color, that's what's going to happen. And when it does, I'm going to ask you to test it, and test it very, very good. Try and move your arm. Okay? I don't want any mumbo jumbo about this. I want you to test it good. You're going to notice that the harder you try to move your arm, the more it's just not going to work for you. It's kind of a neat effect. So here we go. The final color, blue. Okay. Now go ahead, try and move your arm. Give it a good try. It's only going to last for 15 seconds. And, I mean, play scientist, analyze the crap out of it. And notice that after the 15 seconds that your arm will work perfectly normal. I haven't got a watch that I'm looking at, so it should be pretty close to now. So if it's not, you've noticed that your arm works perfectly right now, and you can move it just fine. Now you're in a fairly profound state of trance. So in order to do this, what I did yesterday on the video was I told everybody freeze, and I had that last for 10 seconds, and it can last 10 seconds again, freeze. And you're going to notice that the harder you try to move, the more you're just sitting there and can't move. But go ahead, test it out. It'll only last a few more seconds. Very good. Okay, notice that you have complete control over your body. Again, you can move just fine. Just like your arm, you can move just fine. Okay, but since we have this profound state of hypnosis, or trance as I call it, and there's the question, well wait a minute, I seem to recall that, with the other hypnosis I've seen, everybody just kind of flops out. That's because they say sleep. And you'll notice you can still hear me just fine and everything else. And I'm going to say, go ahead, open your eyes, lift your head back up. If you dropped it down, you notice that you're totally awake and aware now. And that's the only reason they do that is because they have given you that command. What you're going to notice is, I think we'll just use this opportunity to have you feel good. Now, some people drink alcohol to feel good, some people take drugs, but the bottom line is we all like to feel good. So I want you to get an idea in your mind what that feels like to you. Because in a moment you're going to experience it, and it's going to be really neat. So in a moment I'm going to say the name of a flower. When I say the name of this flower, you're going to notice that you feel very, very good inside. Call it Christmas morning, call it whatever you want. You just feel, yeah. Are you ready? Here we go. Daisies. Notice how good you feel. Notice that smile coming to your lips. There you go, yeah. In a moment I'm going to say the name of another flower, and when I do, it's going to get even stronger. You're going to feel even better. Here we go. Roses. Well, now you should be in a fairly decent mood. Hey, my goodness, how good that feels. Well, you're going to notice that even after I take you out of this trance state, that this good feeling will stay with you, and you're going to have a very good rest of the day and on into the evening. So with that being said, in a moment I'm going to count from 5 down to 1. When I reach the number 1, you're going to notice that you're returning to normal. You're returning to the way you were when you started the video. You can read, see, or say any of the words that I've used today, and they'll have absolutely no effect on you. This is so that you won't be victim of someone else's suggestions to the trance state that I enable. So when I count to 1, that trance state will be gone, and you'll be able to maintain that very good feeling that you're experiencing right now. Here we go, counting now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wide awake, very aware, feeling excellent. Notice that the little fuzzy trance feeling's gone, and that you're feeling very good. My name is John Clee Saddle. I'm known as the Wizard of Trance.